You watched the report. Now we have been joined by Ayub Sumbal, geopolitical analyst, to talk further more about this. Welcome to Pakistan TV's transmission. Pakistan, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Turkey have signed the Makkah Joint Defence Agreement. What is your take on this matter? How do you think this is going to be beneficial for all these three countries?
Thank you very much for having me. I think, yes, that is a quite historic milestone into the relation between the Saudi Arabia, Pakistan and Turkey. And I think that is something that was needed according to the changing dynamics, and the political and the geopolitical shift in the Middle East. So how much it could be the practical and the pragmatic, I think the time will tell, because such kind of, strategical partnerships with quite heavyweight militarily, that the countries like Pakistan and Turkey, because the Saudi reliance and more dependence of defense was on the United States. So, but the recent episode and the war between the United States and Iran has quite changed the dynamics in the Middle East, and the Saudis' reliance on the other countries, especially on Pakistan and the Turkey, I think that is quite meaningful at this time. But if we can go to the historical context, so I think that the Turkey and the Saudi Arabia, their past, if we go towards the Ottoman Empire, so I think that is quite a big change, and the compliance and especially the compatibility of such kind of the relations are quite changing. But we can see also the other side, that Iran quite downplay, and also Iran said that such kind of the deals will not protect Saudi Arabia. So it's mean that the Iran existence in the Middle East will increase, and especially the Iran proxies that could be posing a quite serious threat to Saudis. I think that is also something that could be considerable into the near future.
We know that Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, he talked about this as well, and he said that this agreement, it is not targeting any country. This aims to strengthen regional security and cooperation. This is the same thing that you just mentioned in your gist as well. Now, when we talk about not targeting any country, that actually is about the strategic cooperation between these three countries. Can you please elaborate that a bit?
Yeah, sure. I think that was quite meaningful, because he mentioned categorically that this will not target any country. But I think they will also said that they are welcoming the like-minded countries into this alliance and this bloc. So one thing will be also very point to be noted, that when such kind of the geopolitical shifts will go, ultimately that will give a new precedent into the Middle East, and the rivals things, especially those who are not into the favor of this bloc, I think they will also engage in such kind of the geostrategical and the geopolitical alliances and the blocks. But one thing that is also very important is this, that mostly, especially when we see right now that the world is going to be a multipolar world, and in that case, even we say that the United States, who has such kind of the alliance and defense pact, they are also very hard for the United States to protect such kind of the partnerships. So mostly such kind of the partnerships and the alliances are symbolic rather than the more practical. So they give just like a symbolic presence and a symbolic alliance, and to make a narrative into the unified blocks that give them leverage and protect them from the hostile nation.
Now, these three countries would be learning from each other's experiences. They will be looking into each other's technological capabilities, and this is going to be beneficial for all three of these as well. What do you think each country has to offer in this agreement?
I think that is a quite versatile and a very comprehensive bloc. If we see that the two heavyweights I mentioned as first, that Pakistan and the Turkey, they are quite heavyweight into the militaries. Their militaries are one of the best militaries into the world. So Saudi Arabia is a rich oil resources. So they have plenty of the resources and the financial assistance. So even we saw that the previous visit of the Prime Minister to Turkey. So Turkey pledged some MOUs with Pakistan, and they could impact Pakistan economically, because Pakistan economic vulnerability is something like this, that the two Turkey and Saudi Arabia, they could have substantial amount of the resources that they could help Pakistan, and similarly Pakistan militarily positioned and Pakistan defense strong, that the experience of the combat experience, they could also learn from there. So I think that could be a give and take, and there is a quite impressive model of the cooperation between the Ankara, Islamabad, and Riyadh. And I think that these all three countries have a strong potential in terms of exchange of the resources and to becoming a very strong defense lines. And it's also setting a very good precedent, I think, into the Middle East, because right now, actually, the Mohammed bin Salman, his vision of setting up a Muslim countries NATO, I think that is a step forward to that thing. If we see, and Turkey has a very good experience of the NATO because they are the member of the NATO, and they have quite experience towards the other side of the Europe. So I think that that could be quite beneficial and a very, interesting, alliance.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ayub Sumbal, for being a part of our transmission today and for sharing your detailed, in-depth analysis with our viewers as well.